I'm back and better than ever. I'm back forever and ever. Yeah, I just brought it back like I was Mr. Bischoff walking into WWE back in 2003. But regardless, this is Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today Big Box Retailer Time and Buys Volume Dose 2. And we've got a lot to talk about. I'm also going to include an update to the world of the house and fun and video games as well as myself. First and foremost, I want to take a moment to say thank you to all you folks who were kind enough to reach out to me and be on behalf of my family. Thank you very much. As most of you have probably realized, and from the last video I shot, that special update, my mother passed about a month ago, and I certainly don't want to make this video in pertaining to that. But obviously it's been a pretty big change in my life, and I've gotten a lot of comments and a lot of phone calls and texts and everything like that. And through a pandemic like we're currently going through, the current health crisis, and I'm sure all of you are very aware of what that is, that made it extremely difficult to go through the process for a lot of different reasons. But I just wanted to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, person to person right now, for saying such nice things, dropping so many comments, and let me know you're thinking about me. And I don't know if there is any kind of right thing for me to say to you in regards to how I'm moving forward with my life. That is the biggest loss I've ever suffered in my personal life. And I must say that there is no right or wrong answer. I think you just have to move on, but you never forget. I think about her every day, and I visit her once a week, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But thank you very much for all your kind words, comments, calls, texts, everything in between. So, well, let's get to the other part of the video before we get to the Goodwill. No, it's not Thrift Time and Finds. The Goodwill is still currently closed. It was scheduled to be open back on April 6th. The governor of Massachusetts, in which state that I live, has decided to move forward and extend the stay-at-home orders until May 4th, and then he just extended it even further to another part in May. I forget what that is, but I think it's May 14th or something like that. So obviously that has to do with the pandemic, and I'm not really here on the channel to talk about things that are going on in the world. I do few and far between. It is a very unfortunate thing that all of us are going through, and if any of you watching this video have been personally affected by it, you have my sincerest, I can't even speak tonight, apologies, and I hope that everybody makes it through to the other side okay. So enough with the down, we need to get in with the good. So what else has been going on? Updates to the game room. Is it coming along? Well, I'll let you decide. I'm going to show you real quick, if I may. So the first part is done. We got our plumbing done, which I'm super pumped for. It needed to be done, so I guess everything kind of happens for a reason, right? So starting tomorrow, all this is going to be poured in. We're going to be having our shower installed there. That is where the washer and dryer are going to go, and right here is where the bathroom is going to go. Another awesome thing to point out here, I have a very good plumber who's been helping me through the project, is that this is a pretty diesel-sized system that flushes all the nonsense that goes down the toilet into there, into the main pipe, shoots out to the main city pipes. So the one I had before was very small and it wasn't very good. it was faulty. Every 4 or 5 years we had to have it either completely replaced or repaired. This one should last us a lot longer, which is pretty awesome. So once this is done, I'm going to be super pumped. But tomorrow, general construction begins again. So nothing really has changed over here. Although, if you do notice, I did move my cable box and my modem finally. And pretty stoked about that. So that is finally upstairs. I'm able to actually jam out on some video games. Mainly the PS4. I'm going to get into that as well, along with the rest of the goods. So pretty pumped. And I'll be super excited once I can give you the full tour of everything going on. So let's just reposition here. Sorry for all the nonsense. Alright, so I got a lot of things to show you, but before we get into the big box retailer buys that I've gotten over the last couple months, it feels like forever since I shot a video, a normal one at least. I want to go over something pretty cool. I don't think you can order these anymore, which is unfortunate, but I am subscribed to a channel called We Watch a Movie, which is an awesome channel. It has over 100,000 subscribers. They just passed that within the last couple of months. So thank you to you guys for bringing this to my attention. A few other channels did as well, but this is the one that I used to get the promotional discount by subscribing to them. So this right here is called In Search of Darkness. So this is a documentary. It's over 4 hours long of everything 80s horror. So this was something special that was around a little while ago, and I decided not to go with it. But this time I was like, I just gotta. So pretty hyped about this. This is, from what I've heard and from what I've seen from the trailer, it's pretty awesome stuff. And it just talks a lot about horror, which is a huge part of one of my hobbies, collecting movies, right? And we're gonna get into that a little bit more on the different things that I've done to make life a little bit easier, so I don't buy doubles and everything like that. Some of you already may know what I'm talking about. It has to do with cataloging, but which app do I use? Stay tuned. So pretty stoked about that. It took about 2 months to get here. It's about $49.95 or something like that, plus the discount, so I brought it down a little bit. So pretty excited about that. And with that came, when the game room is ready and done, 2 posters. I haven't taken them out of their sheaths yet. I think it's funny to say a poster's in a sheath, but whatever. These will look awesome somewhere in the game room. I don't really know where. I don't know if once the bathroom gets redone, if I'm gonna put any posters or anything in there, if I'm just gonna keep it nice and clean. Am I gonna do something like I had before? If you watch previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. We'll go ahead and figure that out once everything's done. I predict probably in the next 3 weeks this should be all wrapped up. I'll give it some time, and then we will move on to other projects in the house, which won't necessarily be covered on this channel. This was covered because it was the game room, and man, was it a hit under the belt. Anyway, I'm going to go over some other stuff here. Let's start off with this. What is it? It's a Samsung Galaxy tablet. That's not what I came here to show you. But what I just did mention a few minutes ago was I have found a much easier way to cataloging my games and movies, and I wanted to share that with you. So we'll start off with the movies one because I'm pretty excited about it. This is called CLZ Movies. So as you can see right here, these are a bunch of different movies that I have. It's cataloged alphabetically by Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, Laserdisc, whatever you want to put down, or you can do it by genre. You could do a whole bunch of stuff with this, which is pretty cool. And I want to go into my statistics. Wow, I gotta be able to speak here. So currently, right now, it doesn't offer any values or anything that's not connected to price chart like another app that I'm going to show you in a minute or two or whatever. But it does list all of the movies, like I said, by genre and by type, whether it's a Blu-ray, VHS, 4K, Blu-ray 3D, and DVD. So according to this, I have currently 1,039 movies, 164 TV series, and 5 different formats, which is pretty cool. It offers a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So I think this will be pretty interesting once I get to the next stage of my channel, which will maybe be doing some movie reviews. I don't know if I'd review 1,000+ movies, but it'd just be something cool just to do something different on the channel, because I don't want to be known as just a thrifting channel, because that's certainly not what I am. I just enjoy doing the thrift and finding some cool buys for really cheap money. And I don't want to also be known just as a video game channel either, because I like to be able to do multiple things. But anyway, this is the type of things that you could see from this, and it is a paid service, so you do have to pay $14.99 a month. And no, I am not sponsored by them. I have certainly not enough subs to be monetized, and just like to give a good, clear, and concise review when it comes to things that work for me. So I think that's pretty cool. I can flip through and see any movie that I have. When I'm in the, when I'm in a big box retailer or I'm at the thrift, I could simply just use my phone, and I'll show you real quick. I don't know if it's going to be able to see this. It's kind of hard to do this without Cynthia, but we're going to try it. So I just kind of go to that. I can add it by title, I can add it by barcode, or I can add it by a different thing right there. That will come up. Yeah, thanks. I know, great tips. That will come up right there, and you scan it, and boom, it'll make a nice little noise, and it'll also tell you whether you have it in your collection or not. So super excited. And through the quarantine and pandemic, I have been able to scan in every single one of my movies along with every single one of my video games. So that brings us to the next one. Again, this is another paid subscription, but it's well worth it, and it makes life a lot easier when you're out in the wild trying to find video games, right? So this is the other one right here. This is called CLZ Games. So very similar format to the movies. Only difference is that this actually gives you a monetary value of your video games. You could separate it by system. And this right here is just a little idea. I was trying to fiddle around with this. I have this on my phone. I just recently put it on my iPad. Or not my iPad. Sorry, Samsung, my Galaxy tablet, to be able to show you this in the video. But currently on here, I have 730 games on 23 platforms and 41 hardware items. So the total value that I have is $16,142.16. So I think that's pretty cool. Super stoked. My top most valuable games currently: Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, which is complete in box, $282.56 is what it's currently going for. Lords of Thunder for Sega CD, $265. Ninja Gaiden 3, The Ancient Ship of Doom for the Nintendo Entertainment System, $205.35. Popful Mail, Sega CD. Definitely couldn't tell you a better game to play. I love that game. It took forever to track down. I don't have it complete. I consider it loose because I have a custom case, but I do have the authentic game for it. So eventually I'll track that down, but you're talking anywhere between $300 and $500 to get that game. And let's not get into other games that you could definitely get as well. That is currently $202.19. And then the fifth one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. So that is for the Super Nintendo. Super pumped with that, and it is complete. So this breaks everything down by platform. Give you a quick little check there. So pretty awesome stuff. And it'll also tell you whether you have doubles or triples or anything like that. So you don't want to be getting doubles and triples or quadruples or anything like that, because that'd be kind of silly, right? So let's go ahead and go through the goods. Super excited about this. We're going to start off with the games. So first one up, this is one I got within the last couple months. I have no idea when. But Bloodstained for PS4. So I heard a lot of different things about Bloodstained. Saw a couple of videos on it and I finally decided to pick it up. I've yet to play it yet, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this is a lot like Castlevania, which I'm a huge fan of. So pretty excited to pick that one up right there. And then what else we got? Predator Hunting Grounds. This is a pretty recent release. This is from Ilphonic, the same folks that did the Friday the 13th, the game. There's a lot of mixed reviews on that particular game for a lot of different reasons. But I do thoroughly enjoy it, and I know that once I pop this in the system, I'll be enjoying this as well. It looks like a really well-made game, and it looks like a whole lot of fun, so super pumped about that. And what do we got here? Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you have never picked up the original PlayStation or played Final Fantasy VII, let me tell you, you're missing out. This game was beautiful. When it came out, it was 4 discs on the PlayStation 1. And I put in 96 hours plus with that game. And I have never invested so much time in a game, nor in an RPG. I'm not really an RPG kind of guy. I do like them. I do like to watch them as opposed to play them. But this one just sucked me in. I played a bunch of different ones before, but I just beat the living crap out of the original. I have seen a lot of different videos, and I've been staying away from the reviews on this because I want to be surprised. But it's not an exact remake. It's a remake per se, but it's not word by word, moment by moment. There's a lot of different things. This is going to be chopped up, which is unfortunate. I'm not really a fan of releasing things like that. But at the end of the day, it is Final Fantasy, and it's going to be awesome. So super excited about that. Let's get into one more. This is one I'm currently playing. Resident Evil 3. If I was to give you my honest opinion on it, I love it. It's great. I've heard a lot of folks say that the game's great, the graphics look good, but the game is short. Well, the original wasn't too long either compared to the other ones, but let me tell you, is this a straight remake? It is not. There's a couple of different things in it. There's a couple of things missing from the original. I absolutely love this game. I've beaten it twice already. I haven't done real well with beating it. My daughter also has this. I got it for her. And she has beaten it on every difficulty level, gotten an S ranking, and is that close to getting a specific weapon. Don't want to spoil anything. That you can obtain by doing a few different things and getting some trophies and stuff. So, yeah, she's a lot better at this than me. I love Resident Evil. I've been playing it since the original came out in 1996 on the PlayStation 1. And the second one, the remake that came out last year, I was super hyped for, super excited. I didn't talk very much about it on the channel. But let me tell you something. You want to get a good game, you like Resident Evil? Get that, because I'm hooked. I am going to get every achievement in that game. So, with that being said, that's all the games we've gotten over the last couple months. Now, let's get into my other hobby, which is the movies. This one I just picked up pretty recently, Mortal Kombat. And it's called Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge. Another YouTuber that I watch very frequently called 616 Entertainment. He just surpassed 65,000 subscribers. Awesome job to you, Ian. Just recently did a review on this, and I was like, I gotta definitely get this. And I saw it was available on 4K, so super pumped. And it's an animated Mortal Kombat movie that focuses mainly on Scorpion. So if you've seen any of these or played any of those games, let me know in the comment section down below. After Resident Evil 3 and after I watch a few movies, what should I go to next? So, let's keep it going. A lot of these movies that I'm pulling out, other than that one, were from the bins. Now, I mean the Goodwill bins, because I don't have any one of those around me, unfortunately, but specific big box retailers have things called bins, and they sell movies for pretty cheap. You know, $5, $3, $10, somewhere around there. Depends on the movie, but pretty super excited because I've been able to find a few as I've gone out and looking for essentials and whatnot. And this is one of the ones I picked up. This is Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2. So when I first saw this movie, and I'm just curious on what other folks think of this theory, because I have a theory. This movie grew on me, specifically the first one. I watched it on, I don't know, I rented it or something, because I think that came out back when, you know, Blockbuster was around or whatever. I could be wrong, but I wasn't really a fan of it. And then I watched it on TV, and I was like, wow, this is a really good movie. Have you ever had that instance where you've either seen a movie in the theater or rented it, watched it by any means, and then saw it on TV, and for whatever reason you were like, this is a really good movie, and it's edited, it has no swears, it has no real gore, like a lot of things taken out, but for whatever reason you really like it, and you're like, I'm going to go watch that again. This is one of those movies for me, and if you haven't had that, then I guess you probably think I'm pretty crazy, but it happens to me all the time, and this was one of the movies that happened with. So, moving forward, we've got here Pet Sematary. So this is a remake of the original. Always loved me some Pet Sematary. I'm curious, have any of you ever seen the original that came out? I think it was like 1992. It's based on the novel by Stephen King. So obviously he writes some really good books and has some awesome adaptations to the movies with them. But I haven't seen the remake yet. I love the original. Do you like the second one? That's the question. A lot of people do not, and then there's a cult following for it in some places, and some, you know, places that I've seen on the internet, YouTubes or whatever. So pretty cool. Super excited to have that on 4K. Can't wait to get to watch it. Another one, American Assassin. Any movie pretty much from Michael Keaton I like ever since the first Batman. I think that's one of the first movies that I saw with him. I was looking at this for at least a year or two now, and finally it hit the bins, and I was like, oh, gonna get it. And it was on the 4K, so super excited to add that to the collection. Can't wait to watch it. This one right here. This is a movie I have tried to find very frequently, but when I did, it was pretty high up there between, you know, $40 and $50. You know, one of those, you go to Newberry Comics or you go to some sort of FYE, if you have any idea. There's one of those pretty close to me, you know, about 20 miles or so. So this is a pretty good movie I saw a long, long time ago. It is Sleepaway Camp. I have never been able to obtain it on VHS or Blu-ray or DVD, so I found that, and it was just sitting in the bin, and I was like, wow, okay, this is a really weird title to be in there, but only for a few bucks, you can't pass it up. It is a slasher movie. I wonder what year it came out in, though. I'm curious. All right, 1983, so right around the time Friday the 13th and a year before Nightmare on Elm Street came out, the slashers were starting to get pretty popular around this time, and they just skyrocketed through the 80s, so pretty excited to have that and add that to the collection. Can't wait to watch. Blade Runner, the final cut. Again, another bin find. I had watched this a long, long time ago, and I knew there were a couple of different versions of this. And I was like, I wonder if I have that. So I used that app, and I realized that I didn't have that. So pretty excited about that, to actually see it in its original intended form. I've not seen the sequel. Again, I haven't seen this in years, so I'll be pretty excited to pop that in the old Blu-ray player. This right here, another bin find, Hellfest. So this is from the executive producer of The Walking Dead, so if you're a fan of the show, which I am obviously, it enticed me to buy this because there's not a lot of horror movies that come out these days that it's not that they're not worth talking about or worth watching, but I've seen them and they're just running out of ideas. And we're going through we went through a lot in the 2000s, and we still get it now with a lot of remakes, reboots, and everything like that. And I'm cool with it, but there's just some that just shouldn't have happened, and we can get into that on a different video. But this looks pretty cool. Ghoul is a new word apparently for cool. So this has a lot to do with kind of looks like zombies and stuff like that. So pretty excited to add yet another item to the horror collection. And last but certainly not least, this one looked pretty cool. It's called Penance. He made them pay for their sins. Now, what's the reason why I got this? Well, there's a couple of really good actors in here. So, first and foremost, Candyman's in there, which is awesome. And Michael Rooker, who was in The Walking Dead for 2 seasons, is also on this. He's a really awesome actor. James Duvall is also in it as well. And I was like, I've never seen this movie. I don't know really much about it. It just came out fairly recently. I'm trying to see a date where it actually came out. 2011. So within the last decade it came out. I've never seen it before. Tony Todd was Candyman, by the way. The name was slipped my mind, but looks pretty cool. Super excited to add it to the collection. So that is what we have for Big Box Retailer Time and Finds Volume 2. So with all that being said, let me know in the comment section down below, what did you guys think, guys and girls, of all the finds that I was able to grab? What was your favorite? What would you like me to see reviewed? What would you like to see reviewed in a future video? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you can, please subscribe. As of right now, I'm super happy to announce 50 awesome individuals have subscribed to the channel. We've reached the 50 milestone mark, so I'm pretty super pumped about that. And why not, right? And while you're at it, why don't you hit that notification bell? Because every time I post a awesome video like this, where I get a bunch of stuff, when the thrift opens back, that doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm a little tired, so I'll have to take that back. When the thrift eventually opens up again, there we go. A for effort, right? I will be going there. The Thrift Time and Finds videos will continue. The next volume will be volume 20, whenever that happens to be. And I'll be super pumped when that happens, because we always find something cool at the thrift. I also have a lot of different ideas for a lot of different things on the channel. As I've said many times before, there's a very certain thing I'd like to review very, 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 very soon. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to get it because of time, which I don't have, and of course everything going around in the world. So I'll speak a little bit on that so we can wrap up the video. As far as my opinions on the pandemic, I don't really think it's necessary to throw them out there. Everybody has their own opinion about it, but I really think that the best thing you could do, like I mentioned in the last video before, is do what's best for you and your family and make sure you have all the facts. Not the facts from different social media, not the facts from me, but the actual facts from the medical field that's out there that is studying the current health crisis and trying to come up with ways that we can extinguish it. And I'm not going to go through all the different things that we can do. We're all very familiar. It's on the news every day. So the only thing I could say, has the pandemic affected me personally? It did. And what is the reason why? Is it because I don't work anymore? No, I currently still work. I'm very grateful to still have a job. I am a manager at a retailer, and it is considered an essential business. For me personally, the only thing I will say with that is I don't compare myself as essential as the folks out there in the medical fields. the doctors, the nurses, all those folks in there are busting their hinds and risking their lives every day to try to figure out a way to combat our current health crisis. And for that, to all you folks out there, I commend you for your efforts, and I appreciate your bravery, and thank you. Thank you for helping out people in this very difficult time, this very crazy time. Eventually things will get better. We have to be positive, right? That's what this channel is about. Overcoming and being positive and moving forward and being excited for what comes next. So that's all I have to say about that. And we will continue to bring you some great things in the channel. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. I said it twice. You know why? Because it's been a while since I put out a video, and I'm super pumped. Thank you very much for the 50 subscribers I have right now. Please continue to watch. Comment down below. Let's get into some great conversations. Let's get our mind off all the nonsense that goes on in the world. Try to make something positive with the time that we have and moving forward. This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. Hope you have a great night. Hope you have an awesome week. And take care.